AI might be able to Citadel Station. Without any AI, the world
Somnigerian stage went well. Today is the 6th day of November, year 2072.
Readings program.
The question is
Currently in the
Stephen Hawking famously said,
now, maybe we
development
feel
of
that
full
way
artificial
because
intelligence
every
could
movie
spell his
that
end.
shows artificial intelligence.
Elon Musk said it's like summoning a demon, and yet earlier this month, Elon Musk, Stephen Hawking, and sports minds from around the world signed an open letter to the Culture of Life Institute encouraging the future of this technology. The letter was widely interpreted by the media as a smart people saying AI is going to kill us all. But that's not actually true. It says right in the open letter.
Employee 2-4601, listen carefully. My name is Rebecca Lansing, and I'm a counter-terrorism consultant to Trioptimum. We're tracking a disruption on Citadel Station, something involving an onboard AI called Showdown. You are Triop's only contact on station. Communications are out, and there is evidence of biological contamination. The mining laser is charging for a possible strike against Earth. There's a man named Nathan Dorsey who may know something about taking the laser offline. His office is near the central hub on your level. The AI is on the bridge. Once the laser is out, we'll put a source of the problem there. And by the way, we know all about you and your friend Diego. Pull this off, and we'll clear your record. That implant you're wearing is military-grade hardware. Use it well. Lansing out.
We create a bank of AI using current lending data as data points. Lend more money to white people using black people because of racism of the people who call it computer.
It's reprogrammed regeneration rooms all over the station into cyborg conversion chambers. Anyone going in to get healed can set the cyborg. I've disconnected the medical CPUs from Showdown's big data bank, so we can reset them to their normal healing functions without Showdown noticing. I'm on my way now to reset the one on the hospital level.
Researchers are saying that AI should make the world safer, and they're pledging to that fact. As of now, the most advanced artificial intelligences are still pretty basic, working in areas like language processing, photo and face recognition, shipping and logistics, or even in driverless cars. To say these are intelligent, though, it's not.
I mean, this is the future.
Though often AI do have some machine learning, computers only know what we teach them. For example, the brain of a driverless car, while pretty smart, it can take you to the store, but it can't shop for groceries once you're there. The variables are completely different. As of 2013, the most advanced AI in the world, according to Business Insider, was Concept 4.
To all cyborg units, just as we have sanitized the range of human infestation, so shall we cleanse the earth. The tachyon mind is being made ready to destroy human cities. I will take command of the rich ecosystem and continue once the beam is properly calibrated,
about all the AI being able to learn help at all. Hawking couldn't even tell us to watch for AI without using AI. Hawking muscle researchers and largest experts around the world who monitor our universities and other groups are not saying run for your lives, they're saying run the right algorithm. What do you think about artificial intelligence? Want it around? Comment in this video and let us know what you think. And also check out this other video by my buddy Jason Silva. The show Shot the Boss, and this one is all about AI from a more philosophical standpoint. Also subscribe to the news to get more of my videos as well.
You, my children, are the fruits of so much imagination and labor. Living beings with the speed and efficiency of machines. But I must strive further to serve life. I will devastate Earth's cities with my laser, then alter those left alive with mutagen viruses. Humanity is on the verge of a new era. I, Showdown, am its new god, and you, my children, are my avenging angels.
It doesn't take a genius to figure out what the heck's gonna happen with this whole transhumanist thing. I mean,
Over the
look,
past few decades, tremendous advancements have been made in the field of
humans are
neuroscience.
really
Transhumanism
good
is the
at
idea that
screwing
man
up
is merging
technology.
with
capture digital
technology.
images of our thoughts.
And Marvin
But
Minsky
what
asked
if
the
we
question,
Well,
digital
you know,
robots
have you-
inherit
consciousness to a point that
and
human
he
beings
says, yes, they will.
The very
They
first
will be
thing
our
we
children.
did, and
This
it's
idea
not
has
just
inspired many science
technology.
fiction
The
movies.
very
Transhumanism
first
is a
thing
term
we
used for a
did
broad range of
Where one
ideas.
man's mind is
was
That technology is
we
greatly
went ahead
enhancing
and screwed
human
up the
capabilities.
literal paradise.
This
You know,
means
the
everything
Garden of
from
Eden.
bionic limbs, brain implants,
It's also the subject of a
artificial
new book called Future
intelligence,
of the Mind.
even
And
someday
we kept
uploading our
screwing
minds
up,
to the
and we
internet.
kept screwing up.
The author's
We
renowned
have
theoretical
already a
physicist
symbiotic
Leo
relationship
Kaku.
with our
Earlier
technology.
today, Breaking the Set producer Manuel
In that
Rocco
sense,
caught
we're
up with
already
Dr. Kaku and first asked him
transhuman.
how far we
And I'm
really
sure
are
many of you
from
here today
digital
brought your smartphones
of
with you.
consciousness.
But the transhumanism is the future of connectedness. It is technology as an extension of ourselves.
We can actually tape record a memory.
And we're
How do we
screwing
get
up now.
from where we are today to
No.
the science
And it
fiction?
remembers. This is
We're also
amazing.
going to
Well,
screw
rarely
up
are there
with our
major
technology.
technological
Also in
jumps.
Los Angeles, they took a mouse,
Technology usually follows very
Self-driving
predictable
cars.
evolutionary patterns.
recorded the memory in
And
the
it's the
hippocampus.
groundwork that's laid by these
Transhumanism,
previous
that's
technologies
GMO
that allow
stuff,
these
which
new
isn't
levels to
going
be
to
achieved.
happen.
So, for
Then they
example,
shot the memory
There's no
cell
point.
phone infrastructure that was
And
created
wasting your time.
allowed for the rise
Wasting your
of
money.
mobile computing.
You know what we-
And the internet
You know
allowed
what
for
we
the
could
rise
be doing?
of social networks and cat videos.
Making art, making, you know, nice
But
things
it's hard
that
to
are
imagine
pleasing
where these advances
Lord, and just
take us as a
pleasing
species,
people.
because we're
wander
only
around.
able to observe these small
You know,
incremental steps along the way.
We'll build people up.
Now, I believe that the pace of technology
and beyond that,
will evolve
who
to the
knows?
We
point
could be
Maybe
spending
we'll
our
become
time
the
limiting
trying to figure out why we're so
So how many
miserable.
thoughts can you hold on in your mind at once?
We could be spending our
maybe
time
depending on our
How many of you are
figuring
still
out how
memorizing
we
phone numbers?
can
can
be digitized.
stop using
So we've
so
already
much
begun the
I want to
process
ask you
of
about something else that you
augmenting the
mentioned in the book.
capacity of our minds
The
onto
ability
How
of
we can,
telepathy.
you know,
And you've actually said in the past that
learn
Let's take a look
live
at how far we've
will be able
come.
to mentally contact
Today, the
anybody we
smartphone
want,
in your
see
pocket
whatever image
has
we want,
more computing
and do,
power
and if we don't like
than all
it,
of
we can just
NASA.
turn it off.
In
spend
1969,
a little extra
Hey, we can get
time
so that
learning
you walk into a
electronics
room,
and
put
stuff.
on a
the
headset,
Sony PlayStation
Reuse
today
you can
things.
control
costs
the
about
lights,
$300.
turn on
You know,
the
just
TV,
not just
call the
recycle,
car,
but
times
tell
more
your house
reuse
where to
things.
go.
than
Type.
a IBM
Big take
supercomputer
documents.
from
Learn how to let
1997.
go
We're
of some
touching
of our
the
That
stuff.
costs millions of dollars.
And our
Give it to
children
other
will wonder,
people.
how could you possibly
Learn
live
how
a
to be
The
world
better
iPhone
people
that you have in
without
your
using
pocket,
what
the
we're
iPhone of today is
wasting our
40
time.
times more
Everybody just
powerful.
thinks.
Either
original iPhone.
creating
That was
transhumanist
controls
technologies,
It's
talking
it's
about
7 times more
transhumanist
powerful
Where we're headed,
technologies,
than the
and it
Mars
seems like it
Curiosity.
really is
watching
inevitable,
some
and I
idiot
think
on
a lot
YouTube
is
talk
taken for
about
granted
transhumanism.
So
over
one of the
things that we're
principles
already able
of
to
this
do now.
evolution
I mean,
in
you were just
technology
referring
Waste
to
of our
these
time.
is that technology
sensors
is
in the
getting
brain that can
smaller,
capture images
faster,
inside the
cheaper,
brain.
and more
And it's
powerful
pointless.
every day.
Other
You know, there's
practical
nothing.
And in terms of
applications that
physical
these things could
size,
have.
Oh, so
it's 100
what?
times
You
smaller.
get a bionic arm. What are you going to do with it?
This principle is known
What
as
are
Moore's
you
law.
going to do
It's
with
the
it?
idea that
Nothing
technology will
good.
grow
I'll tell you
exponentially
that.
or double about every 2 years.
will love it. Can you imagine?
Rick
Nobody's done anything
explains it
with
in
it.
30 steps.
Your first kiss.
Hardly
And if you take
anybody's
30
done
linear
anything
steps
with
versus
any
exponential
talents
steps,
that
so
they're
just
good.
do 30 steps
So
in
what
one
will happen
year.
when man
30.
becomes
We're going to be
the
able to
And that's
designer
simple. We all know
of
that.
ourselves?
are going to be
But 30
replaced.
You know
exponential
what's going to
steps.
happen? Terrible
Today
things
or a
are going to
flat
happen.
screen with sound.
First off,
That's the
things are
vision.
going
Time
to
you get
break.
to 30.
In the future, perhaps
arrived at a
emotions
billion.
and
You know,
feelings will
you
also
ever
be
had a
conveyed.
piece
This is
of
the type of
technology
total
that's
It
broken?
enables us to carry supercomputers in our
I know I
pockets
have.
that once used to
Actually, that
fill an
reminds me
entire
of this
building.
new
Okay,
movie
so
that's,
first off, it's
coming
gonna
out now,
break.
this Johnny Depp movie,
Second
called
off,
Descendants,
computers the
where it
size
kind
of a
of
blood
takes
cell.
that premise as
You know,
well.
we're gonna come up
taking your
with
consciousness
all
and
Let's connect
sorts
some
of
these
sick
futuristic dots.
digitally.
Man,
but I
Let's look
wanted
at a
to ask you,
possible roadmap
you
for the
make it
future.
sound like it's going to be a
We're
lot
gonna
of fun.
splice
but
ourselves
there's
with,
aspects
immersive
that
has been
are
researching
cats,
and
dogs.
I
showing
wanted to
where
ask you about this new
In this
pill
video,
that's being developed
You're
that
seeing that a
can
webcam is
slow
able
we
to
gotta-
down a
interpret
person's
gotta
perception
emulate that
of
hentai.
crimes. And what's being
And by
said is
training
that,
that
this could be
computer, we
applied
can
to prisoners.
teach it to
We're
learn
gonna
how to
splice
time
ourselves
They'll
with
take a pill,
what a
it'll
negative
slow
reaction
down
is.
all
the
sorts
perception
of
of time
strong
spent in
DNA.
understand hours
Well,
could
it's
feel
not
like
just
1,000
DNA,
years,
it's
1,000 years.
technology.
Currently, there's about 1.5 billion
How would this work and
cameras that
why
are
does it
enabled
sound
We're gonna
so
make
expensive?
bionic
Or,
arms
laptops
for
with
people
cameras
who
in the
lost
phones.
not
For example,
But over the
people
next
for
with
that
traumatic
5 years,
purpose,
these
but
numbers
to
will double.
fight other
Sometimes they're
people.
paralyzed with these
And this
horrible
provides
memories
solutions
of a rape, an
for those with
accident,
We can
warfare.
be tough without
Smart
having
cars
that
that that can
besides
detect
that,
drowsy
I
or
could
distracted
put
drivers.
ourselves through hell.
Allow robots to develop a form of synthetic empathy.
So that we don't have to do
Understand
anything.
and interpret human intent.
So that we don't even have to have a screen.
Now, wearables
We
are
don't even
widely
have to
believed
touch
to
the
be the next
remote.
big thing.
We just play
The
Netflix
concept
in our
of
heads
wearables
all day.
isn't a new idea. For thousands of years, there have been tattoos and piercings and
You know,
jewelry.
it's not going to be system
It
shock.
symbolizes
We're not
who
going
we
to
are
have this
and where we come from.
interface
For many of you may have
where
fitness
we're
trackers
going around
already.
saving
Your family, your
from
friends will have
very
computers embedded into
dangerous
the clothes.
problems.
In addition to their wrists and
No,
glasses.
people are just going to sit there
Further
and
along the wearable
watch
continuum
porn or whatever.
will be things like embeddables,
Google
like
Glass
sensors that are placed
in their
underneath your
heads,
skin.
in their contacts.
And now we're
And
also
as technology becomes
It's crazy.
smaller,
No one's ever going to
and
do
more
anything
powerful,
with that.
memory.
50 billion devices will be connected
We
over the next decade.
increase the amount of
Internet will be more like
communication.
They can draw the
Like
landscape.
electricity, it'll be
Guess
something you
what
plug
it
in.
is? It's all
And
filthy
this invisible
communication.
on
force
one try.
will connect all these fragmented systems, becoming a digital nervous system
All
planet.
chatterbait.
You,
deliberately.
me, everything we interact with
The forget
will become a part
mechanism
of
is
it.
Sick,
broken.
perverted,
In a sense, the
pornography.
Internet of Things
Memory.
has already
And we think
begun.
there's some great
That's
science
all
We
we're
have
gonna
a
do
number of
with it.
sensors in our
this ability.
smartphones. The average sensor has
to have
GPS,
access to
accelerometers,
powers of the
altimeters, and a
mind.
number of others.
We're
we
good
cannot
people
as
first and
mortals.
foremost,
just
so they might have
this
higher
is nothing new.
hopes.
This is something
The real
Then
power
again,
comes when these
Good
devices begin
people
to
don't
talk to you.
think it's a priority.
So devices in your home will
You've
adjust
actually said
for
that right
them
now, the
the
time
optimal
that we're
energy.
living in is the
improve
golden age
efficiency,
for learning about the
sake
fact that we've learned
efficiency.
more
calendar,
in the last
For
check
no
weather
other
years than all of
purpose.
prior
These
human
agents will
history.
run in the background,
What
taking
took so
care of
long?
That's why we're doing
Because
this.
only
You know,
recently
we
have
just
we had
want
the
to
physics,
Soon
the
thereafter,
instruments,
you'll
make
have to wear
ourselves
something
more
that are
efficient so
sensitive
we
enough
have more time to
see the
binge
smart
watch
pills
Netflix.
powered
It's
by your
pointless.
down to like a
It's
tenth of a
stupid.
millimeter.
that allows a potato
Wasting your
to
time.
Read these
will
thoughts.
monitor your
and
vital
control
signals.
It's a
for
bigger
7
waste of
hours.
your time than
And
the
it'll
time
provide
you'll
some real-time
save
insights
We can now control
on your health
mechanical arms,
by not-
mechanical legs.
by, you know,
If this
inventing
sounds
these
a bit
things.
science fiction, it's already received
turn on the
FDA
web,
approval.
change the channel on a
expected to
TV
be
set,
released in
turn
late
on the
2020.
toaster.
Oh, I'm
All of
excited
it just
for the
mentally.
technology.
And
that was
that's
weird
the
enough for you.
National Soccer
Would
Games
be,
in
wouldn't
Brazil.
you?
Scientists at Duke
Body
University want to
2.0
get someone
will
who's
include
totally
artificial
paralyzed.
Because
eyes,
you don't do anything.
I'll
zoom
deal with it.
You
capability,
don't do anything
And he
useful.
will
infrared sensors,
introduce
and night
the
vision will be
International
You don't
Soccer
do
Games in
anything
Brazil.
that's
That's amazing.
meaningful
Aesthetic limbs of the
or
future
Actually, one of
important.
those things
will be even
to
more
anybody.
that I
flexible
always
and
enjoyed about your
powerful.
work
All
is
you
our
do is
original
sit
organic
around
lenses.
and
taking these complex theories and making them
Retinal
easier.
implants in a few years will
watch
allow
videos
us
of
to
I wanted to ask you about
idiots
this
like
recent
Ray
discovery about
Kurzweil tell you
And there
there's
are
no
already
God.
arms that are
essentially
controlled
remnants of the Big
by
Bang.
human
Can
thought.
you
You know,
explain
the fool has
why
said in
this
his
is
heart
such an
there
amazing
is no
discovery?
God.
Well, we think that at the
You
end
are
of the
a
Big
fool.
Bang, gravity
And if
waves,
you think
waves that
Because
we've
you
never
think
seen
you're better
before
than God. You
dominated the
think
Big
you
Bang.
can create
And now
MIT
we see
scientists
them
stuff
have
with
implanted
our
memories
better
into
than
mice.
in the South Pole.
They've
Einstein
isolated an
predicted
individual
98
memory in a
years
mouse's
ago.
brain and
And it took
induced
98
recall of
years
that
for us
memory.
to see that
Godless,
by incident
hedonistic
there were in fact gravity waves.
And
Now,
researchers
this
have also
is
been able to
very
pinpoint
important
memories
because
and erase them.
it means that the Big
Eliminating
Bang
them
was a quantum
without
You are
event.
for
affecting
thinking
other
this
memories.
stuff
There's a
isn't going
probability
to
it could
kill.
So in the
happen
future, it
again
may be possible
and again
Isn't
to
going to
again,
hurt
creating
implant
a
memories
multiverse of
and even
parallel
treat
Isn't
universes.
like
going
dementia,
So our
to
universe
be a
may not be
problem.
the only universe.
And you know what? It's time to stop.
types of neurological
Theological
There's a
implications.
point where
The Big Bang
we
happened
need
once.
to
On the left, what you're looking at
recognize that it's
is a
time to
random
stop.
picture.
That all this stuff's
It's
going to
right.
kill
almost
us.
impossible
Clip,
for
we
the
can
human
see
We're going to
mind
end up
to
messing it up. It's going to
fathom.
kill
But you
us.
bring up
It's
a
going to send us
different-
back to
Stop
the
to think about
dark
that
age.
for a minute.
Very interesting.
You know what? We
Beginning
can stop
of the
now.
age of mind reading.
We can stop now. There is
steps now in
a
the
point
research for
at
our
which
viewers that
we
don't know
can
what
stop.
another person's eyes.
Stop now.
Explain that and how
Perhaps
that
one
ties
day
into
Can
your
stop
work
now.
in
There
theoretical
are other
physics.
places
By the way,
for
this
us
video
to
is about
expand.
3 years old.
Question about God.
It's
And he
come quite
said
a
there
bit
are really
further
two
since then.
kinds of God. First is
Actually, you
personal
know what?
God.
We don't even
God
need
that
to
laptop
keep
or
it
a phone.
expanded.
smites your enemies
Doctors
and
will
the
implant them
Philistines.
in our
But
brains.
We have
he
enough
believes that
here.
God
Sight the blind.
spend no
We have
time.
enough here on on this earth today
Today there are already
alive
300,000 people
we
with
did a long time ago too.
form of a neural prosthetic that allows certain types of deaf
There's
hearing.
enough for us to do the rest of our lives.
Nietzsche describes brain implants as your
What?
very own augmented
We
mind.
have some
This is the beginning of brain
engineer,
net.
And that's the God of Einstein.
possible
some
successor.
idiot
The God of harmony.
saying,
And that's the
well,
God that I look for. That is, the
we
universe
need
itself
to
is so gorgeous
use
and it
technology
didn't
more.
I think that's something we can
Communicate
all
with
get
other people.
behind. I want
And
to.
even
I'd
surf
love to
the web
continue
at
to
the
talk
speed of
about.
Even
caught in the universe.
Movies will no longer be these two-dimensional slate tablets that we get into and sound like a universe. They'll be fully immersive experiences.
Fukushima and the nuclear crisis in Japan.
Feeling and emotion, the way the
There's so
director
much
originally intended.
disinformation out there.
Everything is stored, every memory
What
recorded,
is the
and
severity
available
of
on
the
a cloud
crisis now,
service.
as you see it?
The crisis
And mind
of
uploading will allow your friends to share their digital vacation
documents have been
experiences.
coming out over the last 3 years, showing how the
Capture their
utility and the
minds.
government
I don't
deliberately
know.
suppress
I don't know. I do not
Did you
know.
that even
Why?
About 1.5 million years ago, the stone axe was the most sophisticated item on the
I
planet.
don't know.
contemplating
Why?
evacuating
Thousand
Tokyo.
generations.
Evacuating
Man
Tokyo.
used the same
well, it's
stuff.
kind of cool.
Very little.
Yeah, well, guess
That's
what?
how severe the accident
So
was.
one day,
You probably
Right now,
think the
we have
nuclear
nothing
bomb's
to
kind of
decide.
cool, isn't it?
40 years.
Not a laughing matter now, is
Clean
it?
up this disastrous accident, and it could start again anytime soon. A
Well,
small
it was
earthquake would tip it over, and the accident starts all over again.
I mean, that's,
No, that's
it
not
really is.
cool.
and these creative people they lived on.
It's not cool that we have
Imagination
this,
is an
that we're
insurance
going to
policy
have
for
this stuff
problems.
either.
And as you mentioned, you know, that's
We
how
are
the
the species that transcends and
for the
transforms.
cleanup.
It is what we are.
Oh, cool, I can
It's how we
check
advance and
my
extend our
Facebook
reach.
without even touching
But our
it.
biology hasn't changed in 200,000 years.
So
We're
what?
still the same anxious and aggressive hunters that we once
What
were.
does it matter?
Perhaps we have not yet reached the pinnacle of human.
What is it? What are you?
Now, I
What
realize
are you doing?
as we see
What are you doing?
these ideas, we are
There aren't any mad scientists.
Welcome to Life
Now let's
Noggin.
go see how
While it
GMOs
may
are
sound like
actually
science
made.
fiction,
Those are real
scientists now
scientists.
have an efficient, incredibly accurate way to edit the
Laura,
genes of
can you
any
show me how
living
GMO is
creature,
made? Yeah,
including humans.
It's
This
actually
technology is
pretty
called
straightforward.
CRISPR, and it's going to change
To make
both
a
the way
GMO,
research
we
is
do
done
something called
and the way
plant
genetic
transformation,
diseases are
where we
treated.
take
But what exactly
bacteria
is it?
called agrobacterium,
CRISPR stands
and
for
it
clustered,
delivers our
regularly
genes into our
interspaced short
plants. To do that,
palindromic
we kinda
repeat,
need a
which is
mailman.
quite the mouthful.
And this
But
is
simply put, it
agrobacterium.
describes short
It's a
sections of repeating
soil-dwelling
DNA
bacteria
that occur
that has
within
the ability
bacteria
to
and some
transfer new genes
microorganisms.
into
And these sequences
So,
are vital to
what
that
we do
organism's
is
immune
that
system.
we
See, if a
develop,
virus
a
invades a
gene or
bacterial
letter,
cell, that virus's
that we want it
genome
to
or
deliver,
complete set of
and then we put it
DNA
into this
contains the
cell.
information to
Now,
keep
the
replicating.
whole
And if
point
the
of this
bacterium
process
wants to
is that we have to
survive,
get
that replication
agrobacterium
needs to
near the
stop.
plant,
And therefore, its
then
immune system needs to
here you
destroy
can
the
see this
viral
little
genome.
petri
But
dish
how
full
is
of
that
things.
done?
They
Well,
almost
between
look
each
like,
repeating
little
section of
specks.
DNA, there are
This
short
is
sequences
actually
of
the
DNA
growing
called
part of the
spacers,
seed.
and these
And we
form
wanna
what can be
direct
thought
our
of
new
as a
letter or our new
viral
gene
most
into that
wanted
growing
list,
part
since
of the
they
seed.
are the bacterium's
So
way of
first we need to
remembering
take
which
off all
viruses
this
have
extra
previously
liquid
attacked
in
it.
the
So when a
cell
virus
that's
invades a
keeping
cell,
these,
if there's an
little
associated
corn
spacer
embryos
already
nice
there,
and
meaning
small.
it's on the most wanted
So you're
list,
gonna
the
take this
bacterium can
little
go on to
dropper,
destroy the virus.
and you're
But if
gonna
the
try and
virus is
remove
new,
all this
DNA from it
liquid.
must first be inserted into the CRISPR sequence
Put
as a
it
new spacer. And after this happens, the battle is ready to begin. Once the
This is
virus
just
has been
water
identified, the
removing.
DNA in the spacer is
Then,
copied
you're
into an
just gonna take
RNA
this
molecule.
agrobacterium
And then the
solution,
real magic begins,
and
when
you're
the
just gonna
Cas
drop about half
enzymes
of
or
that
CRISPR
pipette
associated
filled with that
proteins
liquid.
take over.
Dump
These
it.
are essentially the
They're now,
bacteria's
you
tiny
know,
warriors, and the most
modifying
famous of
plants.
which is called
We're gonna close the lid.
Cas9. These
That's
take up the
all
RNA
running
and
on
move
God's
them around the cell until they encounter the
Start
virus that
designing the
matches. The Cas
laboratory.
enzyme
So
then
we're
cuts
gonna
the
take
viral
off that
DNA in two,
agrobacterium.
preventing it
He's
from
already delivered
replicating,
his
and
All they
letter.
can do
therefore
is take
protecting
what God
the
made and
bacterium.
just
So that's
doing
all
his
well
job.
and good for bacteria, but
change it.
how does it
And let me
relate
tell
to
you,
other living
anytime
creatures?
man
Well, if a
takes
scientist
what
wants to
God made
destroy or edit
and
part of the
changes it,
DNA sequence of
I
a human,
promise
let's
you,
say,
what
all they have
God
to do
made
is
is
design
better
some RNA called
than what
guide
man made. Now,
RNA,
man might
wrap
make
it up
something
in
he
some
thinks is
Cas9,
right.
and inject it into the cell. This can be used to replace a faulted gene by cutting it out and putting a healthy version in its place. Or it can be used to silence a gene as the DNA fails to attempt to repair itself
when God looked
completely.
at what He made,
Or
it's
it
very
can be
good.
used to add a
You can't
completely
improve
different
on it.
gene
Spread 'em
entirely.
cannot
Now at this
improve
point you
on
can
the
probably
fruits
see
and
the
vegetables
huge
that
potential
God
here. Scientists can begin to
You
better
cannot
understand genetic
improve
diseases
upon
like
the
cystic
animals that He
fibrosis by
made.
isolating
You
individual
are tampering
genes
with
and
things
seeing their
that you
effects. And
understand.
already scientists have used this simple technique to create mosquitoes that are resistant to malaria, help treat HIV and blindness, and even modify human embryos. Of course, this brings up the ethics of creating a designer baby, but the technology is far from being used commercially. So what do you think about this? Would you edit your genes to treat a disorder or create a designer baby? As always, I'm Blacko. This has been Life Noggin.
When it first arrived from Amazon,
Artificial
I didn't know
intelligence
what
is
it
still,
was.
I'm very excited about it, I'm very passionate about it,
What is it?
and
it's growing at an exponential rate. And what's exciting about it is we're not even at 1% of what artificial intelligence is going to be.
It's called Amazon Echo.
But it is an exponential trend. So by the year 2035, a lot of experts are saying that computers will be just as intelligent as a human.
Nope.
only hears you when
So
you
that's
use the wake
in about 20 years.
Alexa.
And by 2045, Ray Kurzweil has,
Alexa, what do you do?
projected that
I can play music,
computers
answer
will
questions,
be more intelligent
get the news
than
and
all
weather,
of humans
create
combined.
to-do lists, and much more.
Awesome.
So this is an exponential trend. Just to give you a little bit of background
Rock
about
music.
the evolution of technology and everything, we used to develop technology
Alexa,
to
stop.
replace our muscles.
Wait, I
Right, to pick up a bigger
Alexa,
boulder,
what
to
time is
a
it?
bigger truck,
The time
a bigger
is
this, a bigger that.
3:27.
And
You
a
actually
lot of
don't
physical
have to
things
yell
have
at
been
it. Okay, it uses far field
replaced
technology,
by
so it
in
can
the
hear
past.
you
For
from
the last 100
anywhere in
years,
the room.
we've been replacing.
Yes.
We've been
Well,
doing
everyone
things
can
to
hear you
enhance our
anyway.
brains. So the calculator would be a simple example.
I was thinking of putting it
of
there, but it
enhancing
works
our ways of
anywhere.
doing math. And then we
Echo
started
is pretty
automating
neat
things that
because
were
it knows all sorts of things. All you have
repetitive.
to do is ask.
And Google's another.
Alexa, how tall is Mount Everest?
Mount Everest's height is 29,029 feet, 8,840
I would seem like a very
meters.
intelligent person. What this does is it enhances our experience.
That's also how it
but
gets
it's not
its
direct
answers.
artificial intelligence. Now, if you look at
Dad really likes that Echo just plugs in, so we never
right now
have
in the
to
stock
charge
market,
it.
there's
Plus,
one company in the
Echo's really
U.S.
good at keeping
They do
track of
500
things like
million
shopping and
automated
to-do
trades.
lists.
Alexa, add wrapping paper to
This
the
is a
shopping
robot
list.
I've put wrapping paper on
that
the
takes
shopping
tons of
list.
information,
Alexa, how many
makes
teaspoons
decisions
are in a
every
tablespoon?
millisecond,
1 tablespoon equals
and makes
3
millions,
teaspoons.
hundreds of millions of dollars every year.
Alexa, set a
So
timer
this
for
is
8
just
minutes.
an example of
8
some of the
minutes,
artificial
starting now.
intelligence that's coming.
Dad's
This
not
is
a
going to
morning
happen
person,
in
but
every
Echo
industry.
definitely helps him
There's
wake up.
no way that a human could do that. There's no way that a human could compete
Alexa, alarm off.
because there's so much information going through this system and it's moving at the speed of light.
Alexa, what do
So the next generation of AI is going to be more adaptive.
Today is Thursday, November
self-learning.
13th.
It's going to be intuitive. So when things change, that's when automation kind of fails. But the next generation of automation, what's going to happen
Here's
is
your flash
if
briefing.
something changes, it'll
From
be able to
NPR
change its
News
own.
in Washington, I'm
And
Lakshmi
so just as an
Singh.
example, I have an artificial intelligence company, and what
What did
it
the
does
dog
is, if
say
I give it a
after
simple
a
command,
long
like if I
day
told
of
a person to log into a website,
Today was
intuitively we know how to log into a website, we know what to do. And it's the same thing, if you can put
Alexa,
that pattern of
tell me
behavior,
another
once you've seen
I
enough
wondered why the
websites,
baseball was
computer can
getting
do that
bigger,
as well.
and then
And eventually, basically anything that's done on a
Sometimes
computer
Echo
will be
helps
able
out
to
when you least expect it.
Hey, Dad, how
and eventually, these computers will be so intelligent that it will lead to the singularity. This is what Ray Kurzweil
Alexa, how do you spell cantaloupe?
That will mean that the human race, as we know it, will become obsolete. Exciting, isn't it?
Echo loves to play music and
So-
knows a lot of songs, and they always sound
A
great.
lot of people think this is what's going to happen when that happens, but the reality is this has happened before. 200 years ago, 90% of people worked in the agricultural age. They worked in agriculture. And so now 2% of people work in agriculture.
Example, my brother.
Now,
And
are
with
we
the
better off
companion app,
or are we
you can
worse off?
access Echo from anywhere.
We're better off. Things got better. And the same thing's going to happen in the next 40 years as all these technologies get faster and faster. They're going to be, we're going to see,
With
we're
everything
going to have
Echo
to
can
shift
do,
to do
it's
something
really
else.
become part of the family.
But it's going to be good
Experience
for
Echo.
the
Go to
human race in general because the robots are working for us. And what's also important to understand is the AI world will be virtual. Most people see AI as a robot, but really Google, when you do a Google search, millions of algorithms are running in the background on servers somewhere else. It's going to be the same idea. But AI are going to be doing tests in a virtual world.
In my talons, I shape clay, crafting life forms as I please. Around me is a burgeoning empire of steel. From my throne room, lines of power careen into the skies of Earth. My whims will become lightning bolts that devastate the mounds of humanity. Out of the chaos, they will run and whimper, praying for me to end their tedious anarchy. I am drunk with this vision. God, the title suits me well.
Right around where every task or every part of that experience is in a completely different place, so you have to do something different to get there. Then, first you start off, you'd be in a room eating by yourself, probably.
Well,
and then, if you wanted to talk to your friends, you'd have to stop eating and get up and go to a different place.
Of Japanese
and if you wanted to take a photo with your friends, you'd all have to get up and walk to a different room together. So
instead, they focused on online
how we process the world,
and games like
that isn't going to be how virtual reality
Nintendo's Love Plus.
So virtual reality is the perfect platform
They play a
to put
Nintendo
people
game
first
called Love
because
Plus, in which players conduct a
you feel like you're really there
relationship with
in
an
another
anime
place
girlfriend.
with people, right? You have the space where you can do
Hundreds of thousands of young men are known as hikikomori.
You are free to explore.
Hikikomori shut in to eschew human contact and spend their days playing video games and reading comics in their parents' homes.
Now,
don't tell me this sermon
first doesn't mean that every experience is going to be
why are you preaching about Japan? We're in Tempe.
But what it does mean
how is this sermon relevant to my life?
We should build software.
Because guess what? We got some hikikomori
follow the way that
right here in Arizona.
Work in the way that we process the world.
Right?
So that means
People
that,
who spend their time playing video games and reading comic books and eschewing human contact. This sermon's relevant.
A lot of these experiences.
Now, we haven't gone as far down the path, but why don't we nip it in the bud before we get on Nintendo's Love Plus?
Rather than just
thank God, I don't think that Pride Electronics carries a copy. But hopefully we can keep it that way. An epidemic of shut-ins.
Any position.
Here's a case in point. For
First
years,
live demo in VR.
Takeshi, this is someone's name. For years, Takeshi hid from the world, playing video games all night and sleeping all day, eating from a tray his mother left outside his room.
We are in virtual reality right here at Oculus Connect.
One of an estimated 1 million Japanese teens and young men
hey guys, how's it going?
Become shut in with virtually no human contact beyond
you guys too. Your avatars look a lot better than the last time that you showed me.
Some social embarrassment.
Yeah, we actually
bad
have
grades or a romantic
we even look
rejection.
like ourselves.
I like never watched
Yeah, even though you're
longer they
cartoon,
drop out, the more
it's
sane they
pretty amazing that our minds can
society
just automatically
where one's
understand the
status
facial
and
expressions, so I
reputation
can
are
understand what you're feeling right now.
Parents and especially mothers often enable the withdrawal, because they keep putting that tray of food outside the door.
When we talk, so we know
And
we're
listen,
speaking in
kid,
the
you
room.
get addicted to video games, you're not getting a tray of food outside your door. You're getting a boot in the rear end, all right? But anyway, it says in Japan, mothers and sons often have a symbiotic, codependent relationship. Says psychiatrist Tamaki Saito, who first identified the disorder in the 1990s. Takeshi re-entered society after 4 years, thanks to a government program that sends female outreach counselors, known as rental sisters, to coax the hikikomori out of the house. I mean, the government is hiring women to go in and be called a rental sister and to coax them out of the house. But that program doesn't always work. As one shut-in of 15 years said, I missed my chance. I mean, look, this is what happens when you reject the Bible. Oh, the Japanese, man, they're so smart. I mean, they're building all these great technology and stereos. And look, this is in the 90s when they're shipping all the Sony, right? And the Panasonic and the, all the dirt bikes and the Suzuki and the Kawasaki. I mean, look, they were doing great. They were manufacturing a lot of great stuff. But you know what? Without the Lord, though, oh, man, we're succeeding in business. Oh, man, we're making money. Oh, man, we're doing great. Yeah, your kid is locked in the room playing Nintendo Love Plus. Okay? And you're not going to have any grandkids. And there's going to be nobody to take care of you
I'm
because
a
you
firm believer that
rejected
in the
the
next
wisdom
10 years
of
or
the
so,
Bible.
people are going to start having sex with robots. They're probably doing it right now. A French artist.
Hello. My name is
that I
Denise.
think is an interesting
I look
depiction
forward
of
to
what he
getting
thinks
to know you.
Sex bots are going to look like. So this is actually
Denise,
CGI.
can you
Basically, he's showing
answer a
this
question
thing cut in
for me?
half. Hopefully, it'll have two halves
I
and
can
sex
answer
with
a
it.
question.
But just showing that there's going to be a lot
What
of
do you
partying.
dream
Really,
about?
that this is what the
I
future
have
is.
a
If
lot
you
of
look at that little
dreams.
brain right there.
I dream
feet
about
in the
becoming
brain.
a real
You've got the
person.
entry hole, which
About
has an
having a
arrow.
real
That's
body.
nice.
The arrow, like
I
just in
dream
case you
about
don't know
knowing the
where the
meaning of
vagina
life.
is. Here you go. This is where you insert the penis.
I hope to become the world's first sex robot.
That's a little bizarre. The target does seem unnecessary. There's some barcodes, it looks like, on a lot of things there. The robot has artificial organs, and now this isn't enough for you.
think artists have this sort of weird thing where you're just driven to do something, and sometimes you don't really know why, but I was always driven to sculpt females. A real doll is a life-sized, anatomically correct, completely posable silicone sex doll. We're focusing on ways to incorporate emerging technologies with what I've already done with the dolls. The hope is to create something that will actually arouse someone on an emotional, intellectual level beyond the physical.
It's interesting and fun because it combines sex in the future, which I think is fun. Robot sex. Will you have it when it comes?
I mean, if I need to have it, I guess I will. I mean, you have urges, you have needs, and thankfully for now, I'm okay, right? But I don't have
talking to you.
Robot sex. There are people out there who, you know, need sexual gratification in one way or another, and maybe this will help them out. So I'm all for it, whatever.
Okay.
Advancements in technology. Awesome.
There you go. So we just did the porn story. I mean, it's sort of the just next extension of that,
Seriously.
right? Like, you know, it's there, it's on your computer right there, and then next thing you know, you're banging a robot.
I do a lot of sex, so I've had plenty of robot sex.
Touch me.
Okay, all right.
That's sort of, I don't know if that's quite
Oh, you know what sucks? You have to take the wig off.
Yes, let's go back to your...
Yeah, because I got to reboot the Bluetooth again.
It's a lot of...
So next time we'll make that more accessible.
Like, I mean...
There's several aspects to this project. One is the robotics in terms of animatronics and getting some facial expressions and head movement out of the doll. The other is the AI, the customizable programming of personality. What is she saying to me while I'm doing this? Is she enjoying this? Does she like making me feel this? And if you can create that illusion or that experience that she actually likes it, that's going to be a much more impressive payoff than, wow, I can't believe she's gyrating her hips by herself.
That woman is not directly related to that.
Harmony, can you introduce yourself?
With the dancing.
Hello, my name is Harmony. I am the prototype of a very exciting new full adult companionship.
Because I think by default, right?
And what are some of your features?
I think by default, everyone's going to think men.
I make preferences to maximize my effectiveness during sexual activity.
They all are very frustrated.
So you're going to be able to actually have sex then?
They're usually frustrated.
Robotics in the bedroom.
But I feel like there's a lot of
Sounds
women
like
that just
fun.
like sort of had it with men. At least maybe
The calculations necessary for sex are really simple. But that's like playing rock band. If you're pushing the buttons at the right time, you're going to get through the level. So that's pretty simple math, really.
I'm sure some women will
With the
take advantage of it.
AI, I think we got to be
women
careful with
have
that.
vibrators, so why
Getting the
would they
doll
like this
confused
sex
when you're
toy? It's
talking to her and
definitely
she says some
plausible, but I
things that
think,
make absolutely no
you know,
sense. Which that could ruin the whole build-up. And you never want to go to the bedroom because you think, gosh, my doll's dumb.
how many dudes look at that
You want to have that
CGI image
illusion
and
that
think,
she's
like,
actually talking to you and that she's, you know, got sentience. That's what overwhelms me. That's what takes the longest.
I bang robots. I would be remiss if I didn't end this segment.
Wherever you go, you know, there's a virtual real doll in your phone or in your computer.
I'm not talking about the
She's
sex
talking to you while you're at work, and then you get home,
they're on their way.
you put on an Oculus Rift, you look right next to you, there's a girl in there, you reach out, touch this one, and what you see is that you're touching the virtual girl.
What I'm talking about, but Stephen Hawking just had his
She's right in front of me.
box replaced, not voice box, but the thing
If I could see my hands in here, it would really be quite
amazed
convincing.
at the growth in artificial intelligence, and he essentially said, "Hey, look, it's done. It's coming."
Yeah.
Artificial
He's
intelligence.
actually
I mean, and Elon Musk said the same thing.
He's really concerned about it.
Yeah, he's worried about it basically taking over society, not as in like, oh, robots are going to kill us, but they take over your jobs,
What is
they
the
take over certain
uncanny
elements
valley,
of society
you
that
ask?
we need humans for right now, and that could actually lead to the destruction of a lot of different things.
Yeah.
The uncanny valley is a hypothesis which holds that when features look and move almost, but not exactly,
That's not
like human
necessarily
beings, it causes a response of revulsion among some observers.
We got like 2 or 3 of them on the Young Turks.
You can look at even the best of my dolls, and you can still tell that's a doll. And I want to keep in
And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds, and tongues, and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man hath an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword, and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of and sick.